Welcome back to Arise 360. So what do you get when you mix Pulp Fiction with Breaking Bad? Well, the new film starring our next guest.
That is right. It's a horror crime caper called Lowlife. Here with more is actress Nicki Micheaux. Hello, Nicki.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We would be remiss to not mention this absolutely stunning piece of art that you're wearing.
Thank
Who's
you.
this by?
Botany. She's a designer that used to be on Project Runway. She's out of Inglewood right now.
Oh, wow.
Very beautiful. Very
She's got a website and everything.
Amazing. Direct from Wakanda with love.
I know, right? Hit her up for sure. Okay, so now we have to talk about your new movie because it seems like intense, intriguing, and scary all at the same time. Tell us more.
Okay, so it's an organ harvesting caper that kind of goes wrong. I need to get my daughter's kidney, my daughter who I gave up when I was, in my drug-addicted days. And she ended up in sort of a sex trafficking organ harvesting circle that I did not know about until I needed the kidney later. And once I found that out, I really didn't feel good about getting the kidney and felt like I should perhaps go rescue my daughter.
Maybe.
So I team up with a Mexican wrestler and a fresh out of jail ex-con with a very strong tattoo on his face, and off we go. And that's basically the setup for the movie.
My goodness, that
intense.
sounds amazing already.
It's pretty
sounds
crazy.
Hilarious.
It's
Quite
pretty fun.
dark, but humorous at the same time.
Oh, it's hilarious, but it's really dark. I mean, come on. I don't know how you lighten up sex trafficking and organ harvesting, but we did actually. No, it's got a lot of humor. It's got a lot of heart, but definitely it's dark.
No pun intended.
Right. Different
And eyes and livers.
Right.
Sorry. No, but it was a really fun movie to do. It's a mixture of a lot of different genres, but we pulled it off. I think audiences seem to like it.
Yeah. Well, since you are playing a recovering addict, how did you prepare or get research to play this role?
Well, because I am. No, sorry.
I was like, oh, tell us more.
No. Oh my God! And then she started
That
crying.
wasn't in the bio. Oh my
No,
gosh.
no, because I focused more on what's her immediate problem. Like she wants to save her husband, save her daughter. Just really, what's the basic human problem that she has, and that's what I identified with. Because anybody can relate to someone who's made mistakes and trying to make up for those mistakes.
Yeah. Did you know how the movie was going to end up, or were you kept in the dark as well?
Oh no, I knew how the movie was going to end up. I actually pitched different endings, like what I thought.
I feel like, I'm going to do this instead. How did the writer like that?
It's a collaboration. Everyone was very open, and this is what happens when you make movies with friends. I mean, it was really great. Ryan and I had worked together before on his short film that did really, really well, and it was more of a labor of love for everybody. It was just a lot of fun.
Oh,
Well, I've heard some people refer to it as like a Tarantino-esque type of film.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that comparison?
I think that's amazing. I mean,
good.
comparing it to Quentin Tarantino film, I mean, come on. Come on. I mean,
go wrong
like
there.
a godfather of film to be compared to that's phenomenal.
Does that mean you guys are having blood everywhere? It's just like blood.
Yeah, there's a
Very
lot of blood.
gory.
Oh man, they
Very
did this
gory.
scene where I had to cut this throat and the blood just started splashing on me.
What? How did that feel? Was it exciting or scary?
It was kind of gross. It was kind of gross to get all the blood all over you, gets in your mouth and your
What
teeth.
did it taste like?
I can't remember.
Like
Was it like
blood?
syrup or?
No, I think it's a
like
syrup thing,
or
but I can't remember what it tasted like.
Or ketchup?
Grenadine.
It's not ketchup. It's not
Okay,
ketchup.
not ketchup. Okay.
It's a syrupy thing, but I can't remember it. I don't remember the taste so much. It's just just splurting out at me at such force.
Oh, wow.
Blood.
No, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. I had never worked with like blood and stuff like that, so that was kind of cool.
That sounds
good.
That's
really...
the horror element.
Sounds very cool. But let's switch gears a little bit, because you
Okay.
grew up in Texas.
Yeah, I did.
And then you went on to study at the New York School for Performing Arts after watching the movie Fame.
No.
No?
No,
What?
I wanted to.
wanted
No, I wanted to. I had this whole thing about fame and wanting to study at the High School Performing Arts, and my mother wouldn't let me because we lived in the suburbs and I'd have to get on the bus and go to the city. It's a long
So
story.
this is the story in your head that she made up.
right.
No, I don't know where
you wanted to go.
No, you don't read anything on the internet. No,
Okay.
no. I went to college in Colorado.
Okay.
I wanted to go become pre-med. I was taking biology, and I took acting as an elective. And then got like completely hooked. I did my first monologue and it was over, and then I was like theater all the way.
Wow.
Really?
Did you ever
Yeah.
imagine yourself ending up here? Because you've had such a successful career.
I mean, the fact that I make a living as an actor is really just phenomenal because, I mean, I read all the statistics, and that's why I didn't start for so long, because it just seems so scary. Like, how would I ever make this work? But to not only act, but then do really cool roles.
Yes.
It's really fun.
I mean, people still remember and love you or hate you from the role on Soul Food on the series on Soul Food.
Man, people hated me for years. And even when I got Lincoln Heights, some people were still holding on to it. I'm like, yo, it's a new show now.
Right,
we can move on. Let's move on. People, I remember walking down the beach. Walking down the beach. There she go. I'm like,
husband still up, cheater. Like,
but you know what? You have to love that. You have to love that, because if they can like identify, love you, hate you, whatever. I mean, it's kind of an actor's dream. You know, if you could be like the Joan Collins of like soul food, it was awesome. It was great.
Well, how did it change your career? Because it made you recognizable in every household in America.
Well, I mean, honestly, gosh, I've been working pretty consistently, you know, because I went from soul food to, I was on 6 Feet Under, and then I did The Shield, and then I did Lincoln Heights. It just kind of was boom, boom, boom. You know, and now I'm in this new chapter doing film, which is really, really fun.
And you also have a chapter of your life where you moonlight as an ambassador for Oxfam.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about your philanthropic endeavors.
Ooh, well, I don't do as much now, but I did. I worked with Oxfam as one of the sisters on the planet.
Oh, wow.
And basically, we champion, give voice to women's issues across the globe. We try to draw an attention to different issues that are going on. So I did a trip with them to Cambodia, where we went around to the different farms in the rural areas, speaking to women, speaking to young girls, kind of understanding what are some of the challenges. And also, we're working on sustainable farming for them.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty amazing stuff that Oxfam does.
I was going to say, how was that experience? Did it change your life? You know, a lot of times when people take part in those things, it makes them get a whole new outlook on life.
You know, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about not only Cambodia, but I learned a lot about poverty in this country. What was interesting was, it's different from, poverty in Cambodia is different from, say, poverty in Zimbabwe. You know, it's very different when you're able to eat. You know, because most of who we met were rice farmers or pig farmers, so they were able to eat. But if you're in a country that's experiencing a famine or a drought and you can't get to food, or you're living in Detroit with 3 kids under the age of 5 in like a one-room walk-up kind of thing, I mean, that poverty is severe. So it was just really interesting in terms of just getting a better sense of the world we live in and the struggles for women in general, and how if you lift women up, educating women, giving women, you know, property rights, you elevate the whole culture. And it's so interesting now. I'm sorry, my time. I like talking.
We love
it.
It's
so interesting right now because in terms of the whole Me Too movement and, you know, kind of shattering these silences about what women are experiencing and going through, and when people start to give voice and find out who they are, and I'm hoping that what we're doing in this country as women can start to trickle in other countries where women's issues are, let's just say, repressed. You know, right now there's just so much that needs to be done, and that's what we work on in Oxfam as a sister on the planet, is to be a voice for these women that don't have a voice.
I love that. I love when you're putting your voice to a good cause.
Absolutely. And you're so passionate about it as well. It's very organic.
Well, when I went to Zimbabwe, that was really amazing because I had always, part of the reason why I worked with Oxfam was because I wanted to work on the continent of Africa, and they were one of the few organizations, like when Sudan kicked everybody out, they were one of the few NGOs that were left. And that's one of the reasons I got excited about Oxfam. But I ended up going to Zimbabwe, to Victoria Falls, to work with an orphanage there. And that's a phenomenal story, but you know, because some of the women, you know, there's rape, there's extreme poverty. So we had a family where a family feels like, a woman feels like she can't afford the baby, and the baby was left in a latrine. And they recovered the baby while we were there and took it into the orphanage. And we were trying to, you know, help give voice to the campaign, like if you feel like you can't keep your baby, take it here. You know, because there's a lot of, when you're don't have access to education, there's a lot of stigma to certain things. And the orphanage was meant to be a place where people could be welcome to bring their children for whatever reason, you know, for whatever reason. So we were doing just small things. We helped them paint a new orphanage. We helped them with a garden. We're a bunch of non-skilled volunteer workers, just trying to do a little something. And but this woman who runs the orphanage is just a fantastic heart and soul. And when you see people who have dedicated their lives to helping others, you know, my job as a person who gets to be in front of the camera is to speak.
Absolutely.
So I speak and I
speak
talk about it.
We're so happy you are doing the work you're doing.
No, I love it. And one of the things that I hope to do in the future is to be able to, because I like everyday people being able to experience this type of volunteer work. And so what we like to do is organize more volunteerism trips. So like, you know, a group of 25 people can go and work in an orphanage. We have another project that I'm affiliated with.
Where can people get information on that in case they want to take one of those trips?
Actually, you can just hit me up on Instagram because we coordinate trips. I work with a much bigger organization, and we coordinate trips, and I can tell you about it. I'm actually I have to plan one. I have to think about
because let us know when you do.
Exactly. We'll come on the next one.
No, it's really because not everybody wants to go all the way to the continent of Africa. It's like a 25-hour flight. You know,
let's
board
do
ready.
this. Okay, so
Board
we're ready
ready.
to go.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Hit her up
Buying
on
our tickets to a
Instagram.
concert right now.
Hit me up on Instagram. Like seriously, just inbox me on Instagram and or Facebook. Either way.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Nikki.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
I love it. Thank you so much for all the work you're doing on film and off.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
For joining us. We'll be right back.
That was good. Yeah, I'm glad we got that.